What support do you think young carers specifically need? I know everybody's different, and like you say, some people just need that space, but you were slightly different. What support would you have appreciated, I suppose?
Well, I think when it's a rare form of dementia, as we've kind of touched on, information is what's really important. Because I know for me, hearing when mum and dad did tell us, dad has a dementia diagnosis, and thinking, but I've seen both my nans with dementia. And it didn't look like this. Like, dad looks fine. So there was a lot of confusion between, well, maybe my understanding of dementia is wrong, then understanding that actually there's loads of different forms. It's not just a memory problem. There are so many different symptoms that can arise, so many different variants. And again, there's no rhyme or reason why they affect a certain person, why dad got it. So you've got all of these questions and nowhere to go and ask them, really. So I think the gap in information for younger people, because of course you need the emotional support, but there are loads of wonderful organizations that already offer more emotional support, young carers charities as opposed to dementia charities as well. But actually, yeah, like I said, not having the information, not knowing what is this going to look like and how might it affect me? What is the role of a carer going to be? What jobs I might have to do? That's a really big chunk, I think, that is missing as well. So trying to fill the gap and show people, here's the info, here's other people who have lived experience of what you're currently going through, so you can kind of listen to their experiences too. And here's a rough kind of guidebook of what it means to transition into being a carer at this young of an age. I think that would set people up so much better for going into that caring role.
And with regards to having the information about where the support group was, so that was provided by the council, did you say?
Yes, yeah.
Was that, how did that come about? How did you find out about that?
So that was through dad having an assessment. I honestly can't remember if it was PIP or care, like some kind of allowance or whatever it was. But I remember the council coming round to do an assessment with dad because we all had to be there to kind of give feedback. It's blurry because you think it's a while back now, and a lot of these things I think you do almost block out because especially the technical stuff, you're kind of like, well, I just want to be with dad, so I don't want to think about all the reviews and assessments and applications. But they came round to speak to him, and it was at the end of that session, and I really don't remember if they said it to me or they said it to my mum, but I just know that at the end of that session there was the offer of, this is a space that exists if the kids are interested. Was quite happy getting the information the way he was getting it and didn't need a group. But I thought actually I would quite like some connection with other people, even if it's not exactly the same illness as dad.
Right.
Yeah.
So don't wait for it to be offered to you.
No.
There
And I
are things
think
there.
also remember, like, because of course we often look within the dementia field when it's a dementia diagnosis, which makes sense. But there are so many amazing groups out there that are targeted for young people. They're not dementia specific, but, like Young Minds, charities like that who do brilliant resources. There's an amazing group called Too Young to Grieve, which I just think is phenomenal for young people, especially dementia caregivers, because the part we don't talk about enough is that living grief as well. Like, I'm grieving the loss of my dad before he's even gone. And so having a space where you can go and see that your grief is normal, you are not weird for feeling that, I think that's just magnificent. So being linked in, as you said, with groups external to, you don't need to wait for a support group to be offered. You don't need to wait for the council to come to you. And there's the beauty of the internet is there are so many resources online now. So try to engage with them as early as possible. You might not need it right now, but I can assure you that you'll save yourself the stress later of having to do the research to find the groups if you just make yourself a nice little list now of places you feel comfortable getting support from.